In this episode of Rail Away, we visit a small country with a big heart, Holland. Although some places are still hard to reach, Holland has one of the most dense railway networks in the world. We'll take a look at the miniature trains of Madurodam and travel by double-decker train through the colorful bulb fields of North Holland. We'll cross Amsterdam by boat and travel through the West Frisian country by steam engine, time and again producing unique and typically Dutch pictures. The country of Limburg forms a scenery on another journey by steam engine. It is the golden line of the NS, or the Dutch Railway Company. We'll travel from Medemblik in North Holland to Amsterdam and The Hague, and finally arrive in Kerkrade. Holland is, of course, a land made from water, so it's no surprise that we start this episode of Rail Away in a port. The whole year through, yachts arrive in the harbor of Medemblik in North Holland. This city on the IJsselmeer is one of the home ports of the Brown Fleet. This fleet consists of a whole series of flatboats, clippers, and three-masters. They're kept on service by a group of enthusiastic bargees who pay for the expensive maintenance of their ships from the proceeds of charter navigation. Medemblik is also the home port of modern pleasure yachts. The owners often have to fight for a berth in the old center. The one who succeeds has found a really beautiful place. In the 9th century, the city was called Middenleek, or Middelleek. The city was then, and for many centuries after it, an important port of goods intended for Amsterdam. The beautiful houses of merchants and warehouses show the rich history of this place on the Zuiderzee. Where less than 10 years ago there was a sports complex, now pleasure yachts sail past beautiful houses and moored flatboats. In the 17th century, it was also a port. Then it was filled up because the city had lost its trade function with the coming of the North Sea Channel. Since a couple of years, the sports fields are lying underneath the water again, and it is this salt herring port which is a popular port of call. The traditional fleet also came back, although the cargo has been changed from peat and potatoes into paying passengers. Besides a home port for water carriage, Medemblik is also the place of a totally different and older means of transport. On the outskirts of the city, they're making the last preparations for the departure of steam locomotive number 16. Steam Locomotive 16 is a German engine built in 1943. The company Steam Tram Horn Medemblik is the owner of this locomotive. This club of enthusiastic train lovers have been keeping a number of historic locomotives and carriages in repair since 1968. With a lot of groaning and puffing, the 50-year-old locomotive gets going. We're on our way for a short but beautiful trip to Hoorn. Each year, from April until October, this historic train travels through the West Frisian countryside. We passed villages with resounding names, such as Opperdoes, Twisk, and Vognum Nibbikswoud. Once or twice, the locomotive stops on the rails hidden in the high grass. Quickly, the reason becomes clear. One of the relief drivers steps off to stop the traffic with flag and whistle. At the giddy pace of 50 kilometers an hour, we're on our way to Hoorn. For years, this was a paying railway line until it was closed on the 1st of January 1936. A few little stations along the route disappeared, and the rails rusted away until they were fixed in 1968. When they've switched the points at the beautiful station of Hoorn, the train may ride onto the platforms. The shining train comes proudly riding in. From Hoorn, we change to one of the modern big brothers of the steam engine. By fast train, we rush through North Holland. It's spring, and along the railway, miles of tulip fields are stretched out. The Dutch national symbol is blooming here in all sorts of colors, dancing nicely in the wind on totally straight fields, as proper and Dutch as can be. With a lot of patience and craftsmanship, the growers have developed the most fantastic colors and shapes. The bulbs of these tulips will soon find their way around the world. The double-deck train continues its journey at high speed. We're on our way to Amsterdam. The driver operates his engine a lot more comfortably than his colleagues on the steam tram. Meanwhile, the tulip landscape darts like a patchwork quilt past our window. In Amsterdam, we step in a circular tour boat next to the central station. Once we've left the railway bridge behind us, Amsterdam shows itself on its best side. Even though one may have made this trip 100 times, Amsterdam still looks fascinating from the water.